Hello and welcome to Alumni Stadium for today's exclusive coverage of girls varsity lacrosse as your Braintree Womps take on the Framingham Flyers. Mike Wassel here for BCAM TV, and the Womps coming into today's action with just one loss on the season, that one coming against Needham. And this is supposed to be one of the better teams on the Womp schedule. The Framingham Flyers, a team that has really given Braintree fits in the past, and this is a good measuring stick game for this Braintree team, who is very hot right now. And again, just one loss so far here in the early part of the season. Closing in on the midway point, and head coach Tracy Sullivan and her team right on their way to another postseason berth, trying to secure it. And they've done very well here at home. They haven't lost yet here at home. The only loss came at Needham. And this is going to be one that should be a very competitive contest from the start to the end, as we'll have the start of the first half coming up right after this here on BCAM TV. Start of the first half here at Alumni Stadium. Braintree and Framingham to face off at midfield. And off the draw, Braintree able to control it as Birchill won the draw. Libby to Deirdre as Deirdre moves forward. And Braintree trying for the opening strike, which has been something they've done all season long. Trying to get ahead of a very good team from Framingham. Braintree looking for one of their biggest statement victories of the season. They had no problem with Dedham in their last contest. That one in the rain, a 19-4 beating. Before that, they picked up a victory over Ursuline and a road victory, as that one was saved off the shot of Yaxter. And first to it will be Blumenthal for that Braintree beat, an undefeated at the time Bridgewater Raynham team. So the Womps still with possession a minute in. Had one shot, and it was a nice save and goal. Here comes the cutting shot, as that one is skipped wide on the shot from Reynolds. Womps again setting up a play here on the offensive side of the field. Still awaiting our first goal of the game, and Braintree's had possession for pretty much the entire start of this game, as that one was warded off, as Braintree continues to get to the second chances. This is Braintree's fourth opportunity here on the opening possession. Yaxter makes one move and now has a path to the goal, and the space was taken away. And this will allow now a great opportunity inside of the semicircle for Braintree to get on the board and start the scoring. If Yaxter wants to take the shot, she shoots and scores low, skipping that one past the goalie, who had made 3 stops on that possession, but Braintree able to capitalize and score the first goal of the game. Birchill winning the opening draw of the game, trying to do the similar thing here and give Braintree possession. Off the draw again is Braintree with possession. Birchill is interfered with on her way through. Things will restart. 22.5 to go in the first half. Braintree up 1-0. Trying to add to it. That didn't take long for another spacing violation against Framingham, who continues to have trouble here in the opening 3 minutes. Birchill sending it behind the goal for Blumenthal, as Norton was cutting inside. She's had hat-tricks in consecutive games. Now makes the move inside, shoots, and that one was knocked away. Still loose inside of the crease. As Framingham finally able to pick it up and pick up the first possession of the game, and Womps trying to force to the boundary, and they did, but they're called for a push. Braintree trying to play solid defense. Here's this one moves on in the first half, and the high pass along the sidelines, and that one's out of bounds on an errant play as Framingham trying to shake out the early jitters. That was an unforced mistake, trying to make the long pass to the far side of the field. As now Yaxter, who has the only goal of the game, marching it forward. Takes a few steps back and sends it over in the direction of Birchill as Libby makes a move to her left and now right as she sends it behind the goal. Blumenthal cutting. Kelly didn't want that cutter. It's Reinold now. Reinold makes one move and now a second. Takes the high shot and it's wide. That went up over the bar. So Womp still with possession, as they've pretty much had it the entire first, just about 5 minutes now on the clock. As Blumenthal trying for the short side shot, and no shot was actually registered in on goal as it was blocked. And now Framingham trying to gain possession as that one's loose. As Braintree coming in trying to double team in the Framingham zone. Flyers again able to get the benefit of the whistle. As losing possession for the moment. Braintree coming in trying to continue to press as they do a nice job on the Flyer side of the field. And now a march forward as Yaxter has to slow it down, and she does, forcing it to the outside as Moore is now in her defensive position. 19:15 to go here in the first half. Braintree still up 1-0. Sent to the far side of the field, kept in play. As right now Framingham having trouble making clean passes. Again, the defense of Yaxter able to space it to the outside. And now Duffy with her first save of the game. And yelling in her ear is Birchill, who wanted the pass, and she got it. As now Braintree moves it to midfield. Morrissey with the tough pass over the head of Norton. And a long run of Norton, trying to continue to press, try and take it away. As Framingham having a lot of trouble in their own end with Braintree's pressure. Framingham able to work it to midfield. $17.5 to go in the first half. Just one goal on the board. And that came off of the stick of Yaxter. Just a couple minutes in to this first half. As again, the whistle is going against Braintree. Braintree trying to swallow it up is now coming inside, and that one was deflected over the goal. 16:45 to go as Framingham with possession. Just had a quality chance a few seconds ago. Now trying to find the cutting pass, and that one doesn't connect as Braintree trying to move it back quickly the other way. Tenaglia having a little bit of trouble, and that one up in the face to draw the whistle as Morrissey with possession, looking for more right away off the pass, and it goes that direction. And it's cleanly caught. Move to midfield. Take a quick pass over the 30-yard line now as here comes Kelly with their speed out in front. The breakaway shot and a save. That has been something that Kelly has had game in, game out, continuing to get ahead of the pack. Goalie right now trying to find someone to pass it to. And Braintree has everybody marked up. Kelly is now going to attack, trying to knock it away, which she does. And now it is going to be a Braintree possession with the goalie out of her net. If this pass goes to Norton, she'll have a wide open net to shoot at, and she scores. Wide open in front as the gamble does not pay off for Framingham, trying to allow their goalie to play it so long. That was not a smart play. And the goalie ended up falling down anyway, and now they trail 2-0. So the Flyers will see if they try and take a timeout early here in the first half, as Braintree has controlled the early play and now lead 2-0. This time it'll be Tenney who has come in, taking the draw in replacement of Burchill. Braintree has won the opening 2 draws. So Braintree guilty of leaving too early, giving possession away to Framingham, trying to get on the board here in the first half. Played 10 minutes so far. Braintree leads 2-0, and a nice move, and there's Duffy with her second save of the first half. That one, the best of the 2. And a quick pass now on the move to Tenaglia, who gets it ahead to Kelly. Pass ahead for Elves. Elves in front and a save, as the second time now that Framingham has had made a nice save and goal on a breakaway opportunity. They continue to give Braintree fits. Long strides ahead as Braintree tries to catch up. Flyers decide to pull back. Defense of Moore, again, all over the attacking Flyers. Two 2-0 the advantage, but Framingham trying to cut into it. Whistle is before the shot. And the Flyers score right off the restart, cutting the lead to 2-1. As we have a stampede running around out in the stands. I believe it's the freshman lacrosse team. Framingham has cut into it, making it a 2-1 game. Expected a tight game in this one, and so far it's lived up to the hype. But this is definitely one that Braintree would like to have on the resume moving forward. Again, just one loss in the season that came to Framingham, but this is, or rather to Needham. And this is one here against Framingham that they would like to have. Right away, the Womps moving in towards the goal. As this is Morrissey. Morrissey shoots, and that one right along the goal line. No, it will not go. Here comes Braintree again on the pressure, as Kelly was able to gain possession for the moment, and it will be a Braintree possession, as Alves is in front. If Braintree wants to go that way, they instead pull it back out. Direction of Morrissey. It's been strong play in the cage for the Flyers. They continue to get great play in net from Hannah. Here comes Burchill inside, shoots and scores, skipping that one home. And Braintree back on top by 2. It is 3-1. 11:45 to go in the first half. And now a timeout on the field taken by Framingham, with the Womps up 3-1 here over the visiting Flyers from Framingham. We'll take a break with 11:45 to go, and the Womps up by 2. Back here at Alumni Stadium, the timeout by Framingham has elapsed, and we're ready for the face-off at midfield with Braintree on top 3-1. So 3 goal scorers here in the first half for Braintree. Libby Burchill, Nikki Norton, and Katie Yaxter. The 3 on the board for the Womps. Just 1 so far right now for Framingham. But they do win the draw coming out of the timeout, as that was knocked away by Morrissey, and now it'll be a Braintree possession. Here comes the Womps again, as this time it's Burchill looking for somebody out in front. It was Morrissey who was the open target. Didn't go that way. Instead it's Blumenthal circling around once, and now Braintree will run a play. Back behind the goal, and it's mishandled by Alves. Now Framingham pressing it towards the midfield mark. A long run by the Womps, trying to slow it down, as Moore is all the way there, step for step, all the way down the field. And the push is whistled against Braintree. Framingham right now trying to create some sustained attacking time, which has been something that has been troublesome so far here in the start, but they do have a goal in their limited time with possession. stick work from Burchill, able to jar it free, and then Morrissey coming in to clean it up, but Morrissey was the guilty victim. It was a smart play by Braintree, but didn't get clean stick-on-stick contact. Looking for the shot, and again the whistle will create another shooting space opportunity. Chance now for Framingham to get it to a one-goal game again, and the shot is a goal, as that one right over the stick of Duffy in goal to make it a 3-2 game. .27 to go in the first half. 3-2 the score. Braintree winning the draw as Burchill back in. Controlling possession now for Braintree into the hands of Blumenthal, as that one will create a good opportunity for Braintree to retake a 2-goal advantage again. As this will allow some space in the middle of the field for a potential shot now for Blumenthal, who shoots, and it trickles in for the goal right in between the goalie's legs. It was initially stopped and it found its way through. Didn't go in cleanly, but it did have enough to roll past the goal line. And Braintree continues to score with their will this season. Four goals, four different scorers here for Braintree. Braintree able to control again off the draw, and it's been something that has really been an issue for Framingham here in the first half. Has not been able to successfully create any opportunities in the face-off opportunities, where Braintree has won them all, I believe with the exception of one, and that has allowed really Braintree to open up the offense and really get all the momentum on their side with the early goal. They controlled for about 2 minutes of the opening start of this game. Ended up resulting in a goal by Yaxter that put Braintree on top, and really they haven't looked back since. As they come in and score, it's Reynolds, her first, and Braintree's largest lead now of 3. It's 5-2. Still, every different goal has been scored by a different scorer. 5 goals, 5 scorers here for Braintree, and just shows how deep this team is, how well-rounded they can be offensively and defensively. Off the draw, Braintree able to possess. Here comes Yaxter, backing it out and sending it now down on the opposite side of the field for Norton, as Kelly has it behind the goal. Framingham has struggled here in the defensive ends, but a nice defensive play that time. Pass right out in front. It is Burchill who scores, but the whistle was before the goal. Otherwise, that would have been a very nice deceptive shot that was taken by Deirdre, as she'll retake it here with 6:25 to go and the clock moving here in the first half, trying to make it a 6-2 game. There is the angled shot that is saved this time as Blumenthal spins it back out. Yaxter with it at the top of the semicircle, loses possession for the moment, and Braintree able to retake it away. Womps calling for a play, and they lose possession as Burchill not able to control that pass. And now Framingham trying to move it to midfield, trying to run it that way without the pass for whatever reason. But now the pass results in a quick whistle right before it. Sometimes it's a better option to run it ahead, but in that case it made it tougher because Braintree was able to successfully triple team. .5:15 to go here in the first half. Braintree up by 3, 5-2, and now possessing. Moving it towards the midfield mark is Morrissey. Still working it that way is Morrissey, and waiting for Tenney to come on. So 4.5 to go, first half. Braintree up by 3. Trying to make it as large as 4. And the chance for the Womps to have a nice halftime cushion. What is a brilliant day for Lacrosse. Temperatures hovering around the 80-degree mark here at the start as the spin-around shot is saved, and that was another quality save in goal by Hannah that has allowed the Flyers to at least keep this a 3-goal game. And for a while, Braintree has had opportunities to really push their lead even further. As Norton comes battling in, and the whistle is going to be on Framingham, using the body to give Braintree possession. 3.5 left in the first half, and Framingham trying to get the advantage. She'll be told very quickly to move back. Here comes Blumenthal slicing through one, and before the shot that was taken, there'll be another whistle. Blumenthal in front and skips it home, her second of the half. Largest lead now at 6-2. Framingham's already used their timeout here in the first half, so they are out of them. 3:03 to go. Draw at midfield. Burchill trying to win another. Pops it up high in the air as it caroms all the way back to her, as now with the head of steam trying for a second of the half. No shot was taken, and now it's sent behind the goal for Kelly. Out in front is Blumenthal, and whistle. Framingham crowd not happy with the calls, at least here in the early going from the referees. But right now, if you look up the scoreboard, you see the 6-2 advantage for Braintree. It's really been a dominant performance here in the first half. There's really been no real reason to think that the officiating has altered what has been a 4-goal advantage for Braintree at this point. .90 seconds left in the half. Reynolds shoots and scores to make it 7-2, her second of the half. .126 left in the first half with Braintree up. Largest lead of the game for the Womps, up by 5, 7-2. Completely taking advantage here on the face-offs. Trying to do it again. And the push from behind will give possession away as Yaxter was the guilty party. Just $1:10 left in the first half. Blumenthal able to swat it away. .50 seconds to go as play resumes. .46 seconds left, and Braintree will possess as Moore trying to work it all the way to the midfield mark, which she does, passing 3 players in the process. And the Womps will essentially hold for what could be the final shot here of the first half, already up 5. .10 seconds to go here on the clock. The countdown here from the Braintree section. Here in the final seconds, the shot taken, and Yaxter scores right at the buzzer, and that will count. So the fan section giving out the aid, and that'll be an assist from the crowd to allow Braintree to score what is their 8th goal of the half, and that is Yaxter's second as well, to join Blumenthal and Reynolds with 2 here in the first half, as Braintree has their largest lead of the first half at 6. 8-2 here at halftime. We'll be back for second half action right after this here on BCAM TV.
We must score! Great athleticism by the Lady Womps. Looking for the pylon, and he's got it. Touchdown, Braintree.
Off the glass for 2. Shot from Stimson, and it's redirected in front. Welcome back to Alumni Stadium. Mike Wassel here for BCAM TV, and the Womps leading the Flyers from Framingham 8-2 here at half. Pretty much a picture-perfect first half for the Womps. They controlled more than 75% of the draws to start play after goals. And trying to win the opening one here as the loose battle at midfield picked up by Framingham. One of the few times they've been able to win the 50-50 battle. As the pass now goes to midfield, as it's furthered up the field by Framingham, trying to cut into the lead, which stands right now at 6. Braintree hasn't had much trouble this season scoring. Defensively, they haven't had any issues either, so really, all the way around, it's been the way Braintree was built to begin the season. They had high expectations, and they've really solidified any gaping holes that they thought they may have had heading into the season. As that pass is errant. Trying to go to that far corner, it is Burchill who tries to get to it, and she's pushed down from behind, and Framingham guilty of the push. Out in front, the shot, and Burchill scores as that one skips by the goalie. That one on the far post as she joins the party now with her second, as Libby has been excellent here in the game, both on the draws and now with 2 goals. Face-off is controlled this time by Yaxter as Burchill able to push it forward. Braintree up by 7 with possession. Trying to get to double digits again as Burchill tramples over the defender. The skipping shot from Yaxter and another save in goal. As Hannah has been the reason why the Flyers have stayed in this. They've gotten excellent goalie play. She made, I believe, 8 saves here in the game, which has obviously kept it just the 7-goal advantage for Braintree. I know it sounds like a big advantage, but it easily could be over 10, and we could be running the clock the rest of this game if it wasn't for the good play in the cage. Burchill shoots and scores. The hat trick now here in the game as Braintree has their first player with 3 goals. Three other players with 2 so far. Ten to 2. With 22:30 to go here in the game. Off the draw, and Framingham finally able to possess. Haven't had a ton of possession here in the game. Big reason why Braintree has such a comfortable lead. But again, all the credit goes to Braintree of really just taken the game plan and ran with it here in the game. And what was supposed to be one of the tougher games on the schedule, Braintree having no problem so far here in the game. Back the other way as Braintree starting to take advantage here of the very upset Framingham team is starting to get very frustrated, and the frustration's starting to boil over. As Braintree looking for a substitution as Kelly comes in and rings the post on the far side. As Tenney comes back in, and Birchill comes off. .21 minutes to go. The defense by Yaxter and trying to draw the offensive whistle. As Framingham continues to possess. They're down 8. Looking for their first goal of the second half. Plenty of communication from the coaching staff here from Framingham, but not a ton on the field from the players. This would take a Herculean comeback for Framingham to make this a ball game. Right now down 8 and still 20 minutes left, plenty of time, but really haven't shown much here in the game that would make it evident to anyone here at the stadium that the comeback was really in the question right now. And if Braintree continues to excel on the offensive side, they can put this one up to 10 and really run some time off the clock as the cutting play is misplayed now by Framingham, as Duffy able to catch it. As Framingham with a big-time mistake on a nice catch, as Lee on the far side of the field makes a nice play with it, and now Braintree turns it right back over. So back and forth with the erratic play. Another whistle here against Braintree, as Framingham trying to find a rhythm here on the offensive side, but they haven't been able to do it. And now time is really working against them with 19 minutes to go. Braintree not getting the benefit of the call, as Framingham trying to score their third goal of the game, their first of the half. Good defense as Braintree able to take it away. Head coach for Framingham very upset on the sidelines and had a few words, and definitely were not kind words that were said to the referee, who looked over in her direction and said, "You want to say that one again?" And there was no repeat of the words. But again, the officiating hasn't really altered at any point here in the game what has been the outcome to this point, an 8-goal advantage for Braintree. Out in front, the shot and a score as Framingham puts their first one on the board here in the second half. So 18:02 to go. 10-3. As the intensity has really picked up here in the game, Braintree has now a player in the penalty area. That was Morrissey who was sent off. So the draw at midfield as Burchill trying to possess. Yaxter has it down in her feet, trying to win it forward, and she's able to control it. Great hands by Yaxter, who continues to excel here in the game with 2 goals so far, and she has been very important off of those face-offs that Burchill wins in her direction. The quick hands will allow Braintree to run some clock and try and get that goal back that Framingham had just scored. Braintree will take their time here on the offensive side. Norton right now is doubled. So skip pass to Yaxter, able to catch it. And now Braintree trying to make a move through, which they do. And here comes Yaxter looking for the hat trick, and she scores right under the bar. No problem there. Second hat trick of the game for Braintree, as Yaxter has one to go along with Burchill with the other. Braintree up by 8, 11-3 with 17 minutes to go. Again, these draws have been so crucial. And Braintree has been so fortunate that they've had such high success here in the game. As the battle for it, it's in the legs of Burchill, and the push will go against Burchill. So now Framingham trying to quickly strike, and they're going to have to score quick because Braintree is answering every time. Out in front, the chance and a score. Make it now an 11-4 game with 16:37 to go in the second half. Bring it back down to a 7-goal game. .37 left here in the game. It's Braintree right off the draw, not able to possess it. And here come the Flyers again, trying to rush it forward. Lee able to at least force the player behind the goal. As Braintree back to even strength. Seemed like that was a while in the box for Morrissey. And the cutting play, as that one is loose in the middle of the fields. Both players battling for it, and Framingham able to get it with the shove from Tenaglia. Passed into traffic, and Braintree all over it. Out in front, and that one is shot wide. I don't think Duffy got a piece on the way through. With 15.5 to go, clock moving. Braintree very content. As long as they can keep everything to the outside. Trying to move it around the perimeter. As right now, the home team, Braintree, still comfortably on top. 15 minutes left. That's Framingham trying to run their offense, but a good distance from the goal right now. Double teamed as he actually getting a piece. Out in front, and the Womps all over that on the middle of the field, swallowing up the insides. Knocked off the stick by Birchill, but again, possession will stay with Framingham. Flyers have had possession pretty much for the last minute and a half, but again, they haven't put a goal on the board, and time is not on their side right now. Quick pass right down on the goal line, as we'll have another restart. And things will restart yet again. That was not a quick restart at all. That was 1 second in and then another whistle, which makes it very tough, again, for momentum to stay on one team's side with this number of whistles that have been called here in this half, and especially on this possession. Seems like every 5 seconds has been a whistle, as continues to be the same fashion. Obviously, Braintree knows that Framingham's going to try and crash the goal, and maybe they may be better served to try and just let it fly from here. No pun intended on the name. Good double team by the Womps. And Braintree again is okay with the delays in between, but you can see that the officials now trying to really keep this one tightly contested, keeping the officiating very tight because of the fact that I've already seen the head coach for Framingham try and get very vocal and voice their displeasure, which has now garnered a few calls in the direction of Framingham, but play continues. 12:20 to go as Framingham shoots and scores. That one under the bar again. Bringing it down to 6 with 12:19 to go. And Braintree trying to win the draw. Draws have been important all game long, as they will be all season, but especially here with Framingham trying to make a comeback. Framingham leaving early, allowing possession back to Braintree, and they're trying to capitalize. Here comes Norton in towards the goal, and right before the shot was released, a whistle. Norton trying to join the party with 2 goals. 5 players on the team with already 2 goals. Chance to put that lead back up to 7 with a goal. Here is Norton, and she scores, tucking it right over the shoulder. And the Womps, every time Framingham scores to try and trim it down, bounce it right back and put the margin back to 7. .11:21 to go. 12-5 the score. as Norton has now picked up her second. She's had a streak of 2 consecutive games with hat tricks. Trying to make it a third. Just needing one more here in the remaining 11 and change. As Framingham controls the draw. And again, if you are Framingham, you're going to have to try and strike quick, which they're trying to do here on the attack. Right out in front, and that one is shot wide. Ten and a half to go as that pass doesn't connect. And Braintree not right there on their pressure, which they have been for most of the second half. And that didn't take long as here comes Morrissey going back and forth between the attackers. Good shut-off defense being played by Morrissey inside, and a quick strike in front to bring it back down to 6. Framingham playing a much better second half. They found a way to strike for some goals, but now the question will be, is it a little bit too late? Obviously, as the season moves on, try and learn from these type of games where you started slow, which has been the case here today for Framingham, and now they're starting to pick it up here in the second half, but Braintree controls a very important face-off. On the stick now of Yaxter, and Norton with it. 2 goals here in the game for Norton. 8 goals in the past 3. Blumenthal also with the 2 goals so far. As Braintree running some clock. 9.5 to go. And right now, the Flyers are going to have to try and double and try and press it, because if they don't, Braintree can just work some clock. And here comes Reinold, who shoots, and there is a nice save in goal as Hannah makes the save. And again, she has been very important to this team's success here this season. All the way up the field and slowed down at the last minute by Morrissey. Moore with the strong defensive play behind the goal. As here comes Braintree trying to double team. Now out in front, the chance, and that one knocked away. Duffy getting a piece, as well as, I believe, 2 of the defenders on the way through. That was not let go cleanly. You can certainly feel the energy here in the stadium. Both sidelines. Definitely more quiet here today than general because of the fact that the intensity is so high, especially here in the second half. So it'll be an opportunity to get as close as they've been in a long time to make it a 5-goal deficit. But again, another whistle as we approach the 7.5-minute mark. Time is of the essence now for the visiting Flyers. On the move, and that one hits the bar and comes out. So Braintree catching a break. We've seen both teams now hit the posts. That one hit the crossbar and bounced straight out. Long crossfield pass, and that's going to be thrown away, and possession is now Braintree's. And that is a very devastating blow to the chances here for Framingham, throwing that one away after they had a very good chance to make it a 5-goal margin. The pass intended for Yaxter makes its way to Burchill. And now the pass to Blumenthal is Braintree trying to track it back down. Blumenthal working along the sidelines. It's the battle right in the feet. And the whistle against Braintree. Framingham was thinking potentially the long crossfield pass, and they thought otherwise because you could see that Duffy was reading potentially the pass that they were intending. 6 minutes left, and that one picked up by Duffy, and she'll now slow things down as she's pressured. Inner crease. Makes the skipping pass that was tough to handle, but Lee able to do so successfully. That was a smart play. As she works it back to the end line, and now she is interfered with. .5:20 to go. And Braintree with possession, up by 6. Back behind the goal as Alves has it. Looking for her first of the game. She had a couple looks early in the first half, but hasn't had much since. But it hasn't been needed for this Braintree offense that has hit the 12-goal mark again. You can hear that Framingham wants to double. They're going to have to try and press and get the ball away, because Braintree in no reason to try and take a shot if they don't have an open lane. Morrissey inside, and she scores right off the draw, her first of the game, and Braintree's 13th as a team. Bringing it back to a 7-goal margin. Pretty much putting the icing on the cake. As the final timeout of the game will be taken by Framingham with 4:20 to go. And the Womps up 13-6. We'll take a break here on BCAM TV. 4:20 to go. Timeout has concluded. 13-6 the advantage for Braintree, and a draw. Coming off the latest goal from Morrissey. Burchill knocked down off the draw, and that'll give possession to Braintree. And now Burchill on the move. On a mission here after getting knocked down, over to Reinold. .345 to go. The pick set by Norton, and it's going to be an offensive whistle against Braintree. Good defensive plays. Moore got back in the play, and now it's knocked out of bounds, and it's Braintree's. .245 to go, and Braintree possessing. Burchill with it, going one-on-one as she's knocked down, and that is going to draw a penalty on Framingham with the shot to the face. It draws the booking from the official. Burchill hands it over to Yaxter with Norton to her right and goes in that direction. And the goal for Braintree, as Norton now has the hat trick in 3 consecutive games. As Braintree back up to an 8-goal lead. Braintree very quickly capitalizes on the man-up situation, so both teams have now scored once. Not many penalties here in the game, just one apiece. Not a great draw, and now they'll redraw it. Braintree moving early on that one, as that'll give away the draw. Nice defensive play by Moore, but wasn't able to keep it in play. She has played excellent in her own end. A quick pass and a score. That was very nicely done. That was very fundamentally done right out in front. So flashes here in the game for the Flyers of success, but they're going to come up short. Braintree still right now doubling up the lead, up 14-7. Off the draw, it is Deirdre Burchill coming out of the pact with it. Looking for her first of the game. Nice little underhanded flip to her sister as back the other way the Womps come. Libby back with possession as Burchill sends it over to Norton. Right now the cage is free if Braintree wants to let the shot go from long range. Shot taken. Actually, it was more of a pass as Deirdre trying to get inside, and she'll scoop back to the outside, run some clock, and now look to circle around. Right out in front into the empty net, but before, no goal. So the goalie is out of the cage, so it will be an empty net to shoot at from a distance. 1:05 left. The shot, and skipping it home is Burchill with her first of the game. It was only a matter of time before you tied her down long enough in the goal-scoring department, getting her first. And potentially maybe the last goal that we see here today with a tick over a minute to go. This game seems to have gone on for a while. The number of stoppages, as well as the number of timeouts, even started maybe a few minutes after the 4 o'clock start time. As Framingham able to control. And a huge collision here on the Womp side of the field as both players go down hard. And that was Morrissey again. So 47 seconds to go. Possession with Framingham for the moment as it's loose on the field. Final 42 seconds left as Burchill able to come up with the steal. Moving it over the midfield mark. Now Braintree on the move. Here is Reinold. Right out in front for Kelly. Couldn't catch it cleanly as she circles the goal. Alves. And now Braintree doesn't have to take a shot as Yaxter sends it over to Burchill here in the final 13. And right out in front. And the goal for Yaxter as the C's opened up. And she capitalizes with now her fourth of the game to lead Braintree with 9 seconds to go, and Braintree has now successfully finished off what it will be their 8th win of the season. So Braintree over their scoring average right now, averaging about 13 goals a game, maybe a tick over, maybe 14 or so. The one skewing mark from that is the game against Needham, where they were under that mark. But they've hit 17, 18 goals a couple times this season as Braintree controls the draw, sends it down the field one last time, and the horn will sound here as the game comes to a conclusion with the score of 16-7 as Braintree beats Framingham here today to pick up their 8th win of the season to improve to 8-1. The lone loss coming to Needham, but Braintree taking advantage of the schedule, the games they have to have, and this one of the bigger wins of the season for Braintree as a team, knowing the talent that Framingham has on the other side of the field, and Braintree able to beat a very good Flyer team here today, soundly by 9 goals, as Braintree was led up front by Yaxter, who had 4 goals here in the game, and Libby Burchill and Nikki Norton both had hat-tricks here today for the scoring department for the Womps. So Braintree moves to 8-1 on the season with the 16-7 win. The final time here for Mark Chavis, I'm Mike Wassel. We'll see you next time.